One more Democrat discriminating against Republicans. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can say.
Senator Cassidy, you snuck in, brother. You sure did.
Thank you. You're a king among men. Madam Secretary, thank you for being here. Madam Secretary, when we spoke with Deputy Secretary Turk some time ago, at issue was the definition of clean hydrogen that DOE has proposed. We were very specific in the bipartisan infrastructure bill that should be about at the point of production, and yet the Department of Energy has made it a life cycle definition. Tell me, you weren't supposed to do that. You're going against Congress's explicit direction. So can you comment on how you felt you had the latitude to specifically go against that which Congress had directed?
The definition, I know, is about low emissions, right? And so the question about whether it's point or life cycle, I know has been significantly worked within the department. Maybe it would be helpful for us to sit down with the head of our joint strategy team on...
That would be great.
So
please,
that we can talk through that.
Because my office helped draft that, and we were very particular.
Okay.
And the law particularly states the way that we particularly wished it to particularly say. So as we speak about particulate matters or whatever else, right. You see where I'm going with that.
Let us particularly sit down and figure that out.
Also, in the IRA, let's see, here. Earlier, Senator Manchin asked you about a definition you provided to Treasury for battery manufacturing and processing. Now, the DOE decided to change the definition in the IRA and effectively undercut domestic producers, directly affecting projects such as the Sierra project in Louisiana. So again, it seems like they're changing definitions that were explicitly defined by Congress. Is that something else we should meet upon?
Well, we certainly can, but the definition of how the DOE has recommended to Treasury was directly from the bipartisan infrastructure law, which had a definition of processing in there. They didn't want to go back and redo what Congress had just passed. So they used for the IRA the same definition as was in the bill.
Greetings, friends. Time is running out. Our federal government is rapidly losing cash and only has $57 billion left. Many top leaders are very concerned about how this will affect our economy in all sectors. But there is a new piece of legislation that is gaining support that would push for Medicare for all Americans. This plan would help many Americans with high health care costs. My dearest friends, please do me a favor and watch until the end of this video. Also, to say thank you for being part of this community. I'm giving away Walmart gift cards every week. If you would like to enter the next giveaway, all you have to do, friends, is click and like several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you watch and then comment on, the greater your chances, my friends, of winning the giveaways. Cash continues to drain out of the U.S. Treasury Department as lawmakers have yet to provide a resolution to the debt ceiling crisis. According to the latest update, the Treasury General account fell to $57.3 billion on Thursday. That is the lowest since December 2021. That is down from $68 billion on Wednesday, $87 billion on Monday, and $140 billion on Friday. It is also a considerable drop from the end of April, when the federal government's cash balance was $316 billion. The Treasury General account is used to pay for debt service on government bonds, which ends up preventing the U.S. from defaulting, among the myriad other outlays like entitlements and federal employee salaries. The federal government has spent $3.6 trillion so far this fiscal year, which began in October 2022. And last fiscal year, it spent $6.3 trillion in total. While the government's bank account will see more tax payments coming in starting on June 15th, the sudden drawdown this week raises a risk that the Treasury Department may not have adequate funds to last that long, setting up a potential default. This past Monday, U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen reaffirmed her warning that the government could run out of money as soon as June 1st. Lawmakers still remain at odds on lifting the debt ceiling. Hopes were high earlier in the week when President Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy sounded upbeat that a deal could be reached soon. But this past Friday, a meeting of key negotiators was abruptly cut short. Republican Representative Garrett Graves walked out, informing reporters that negotiations were on pause. Representative Garrett Graves said, "Unless they are willing to have a reasonable conversation about how you can actually move forward and do the right thing, we are not going to sit here and talk to ourselves." Since 1960, Congress has been forced to raise, temporarily extend, or revise the definition of the debt limit on 78 separate occasions. Republicans and Democrats always seem to come right up to the edge before working out a deal to lift the debt ceiling, sending the national debt even higher. Lawmakers have butted heads over Republicans' push for several provisions. One is a work requirement for government-funded programs, including Medicaid, temporary assistance for needy families, and SNAP benefits, as a part of the debt ceiling deal. President Biden has signaled openness to a possible compromise, even as many in his party have balked. For many Americans, a medical emergency can lead to a financial crisis due to the high cost of health care in the United States. This week, Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders is renewing his push for a new approach, Medicare for all, that he touted as a presidential candidate. Bernie Sanders said, "The current healthcare system in the United States is totally broken." So with the support of Democratic Representatives Pramila Jayapal and Debbie Dingell, the lawmakers plan to reintroduce a bill titled Medicare for All Act of 2023 in both the House and the Senate. In the House, the proposal will have 112 co-sponsors, more than they have ever had at the introduction of the bill. Medicare for All would create a single-payer program, which would allow one source to collect all health care fees and pay all health care costs. Research shows that millions of Americans suffer under the burden of high health care costs. Almost 1 in 10 adults, or approximately 23 million Americans, have medical debt. About 11 million Americans owe more than $2,000, and 3 million Americans owe more than $10,000. Medicare rates are lower than what private insurers pay. If those rates are used across the board, it would result in savings for patients and employers. But it would also prompt substantial drops in income for physicians and providers and less revenue for hospitals. And the tax increases that may be required to implement such a healthcare system may make it a non-starter politically. So, dear friends, what are your thoughts about the Medicare for All Act of 2023? Please let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section below. Well, my great and most beautiful friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for this Saturday. Thank you so much, friends, for joining me here and for being part of this community. The two winners of yesterday's Walmart gift card giveaway is Patty Longley and Martha Edmonds. Congratulations, my dear friends. To claim your gift card, please check your notifications page and send me a message. Or you can message me on my Facebook page. Thank you, friends, and have a wonderful and very blessed weekend.